We're at episode 30 of Bishop's Breakdown on a special Memorial Day edition of Bishop's Breakdown. So, shout out to the vets. Shout out to all the people, the men and women who gave their lives so me and you could have our freedoms and express it freely. So, with that being said, we're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk SmackDown, Saturday night's main event. We're going to talk NBA playoffs. So we're going to get to it right now because I'm Bishop and this is my breakdown. So let's break it on down. This episode is brought to you by W Energy, the clean energy drink mix built for gamers, creators, and grinders like us. No jitters, no crash, no artificial dyes, just smooth, long-lasting focus whenever I'm breaking down WWE storylines, debating NBA, or just recording late at night. It's zero sugars, packed with vitamins and nutrients, and it actually keeps you locked in without the shaky feeling. Head to w.gg and use code Bishop's Breakdown at checkout and save 10%. So level up your energy and let's get back to the breakdown. And thanks for supporting the show. So welcome back. Let's talk Monday Night Raw. It started the show, Roman Fatu. Fatu called out Roman Reigns. Jimmy and Jay comes out instead with chairs and trying to take out Jacob Fatu, and you know how that went. Jacob Fatu took them out. Roman comes out to even the odds, and the bloodline left Jacob Fatu laying while Roman's at the top of the stage holding up his title. Bloodline one's up, and then Jacob Fatu's like, "Oh, I'm not done with you. Let's do it at Clash in Italy, tribal combat." I mean, it's a glorified house or street rules, street match. No rules, just pinfalls and submissions. Street fight. So we've seen it a couple times, and yeah, with Jacob Fatu's intensity, he needs a match like this to showcase his abilities, and I think he's gonna put it to Roman, put it to the OTC, the Y2C, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table. But I'm conflicted. Because at this point, shouldn't Jacob win this match? Shouldn't he defeat the Tribal Chief? But then what happens with Roman? Rumor has it he's going to take the whole month of June off and might not be back until like SummerSlam. Like he's going to skip the Saudi show, which I don't think the Saudis will let WWE give him that time off because they're paying for this. So whatever they want is whatever they get. But my thought process is they're giving that title to Oba at SummerSlam. So once he's done with Brock Lesnar at Clash, that's his route. That's his trajectory. And I think him taking out Jacob is not as big as a moment as him taking out the Tribal Chief. So with that being said, I'm going to give y'all my predictions later this week once Raw goes in effect, and hopefully we'll have all the matches set in stone so I can tell you my predictions and who I think going to win and where this is going to go based on those winners. But back to Raw. If you hadn't noticed, Judgment Day and Finn Balor are just stuck in a rut. Balor, like they're doing it backwards. They had the Demon face Dominic Mysterio as the Demon. Like he doesn't do that barely ever, and won. And now they're going backwards with this feud. Like he's beefing with the Judgment Day, and the only end game is Dominic Mysterio, but they already did that. So what's the end game? He's gonna take Roxanne Perez for them or something. Like I don't know where they're gonna do with this, but I think they should just be done with it and put Finn Balor, who's actually being positioned better than he's ever been positioned in a very, very, maybe not like since NXT days, as powerful and as like a key focus on the show as much as it is right now. All the years with the Judgment Day, he's just been a guy with JD and with Priest and Rhea and now Dominic, and then Roxanne and Raquel and Liv Morgan. He was just kind of a player on the chessboard. Nothing more, nothing less, just some dude. But now he's positioned as the guy who has, he is the debut or the inaugural Universal Champion. So you can't take that away from him, that he is not mediocre. He is one of the best in the world. And I'm glad he gets showcased, but he needs to get away from Judgment Day, because this is just Groundhog Day over and over and over and over and over again. He faces JD one week, and next week he faces JD again, and then next week, he's going to face JD again, and next week, because I know they're not just going to give him and Dominic every week, so there's no other people. That you fired Carlito, so what are you supposed to do? Priest is not part of Judgment Day anymore, so like it can either be one, like you're not going to put Raquel in there, you're not going to put Liv against Finn Balor. They're not going to take the coup de grace from a dude. Like this is 2026. That ain't happening. Now on Netflix, maybe HBO Max, but now on Netflix. But anyways, continue with Raw. The best thing that happened this week, Brock Lesnar pulled the wool over our eyes. We all was crying and sad that he retired. He came back and beat the brakes off of Obafemi with not just one, but 4 F5s with dominant fashion. Like Brock Lesnar he's the beast. And he showed it on Monday Night Raw that he's the beast. So likely they're going to agree on the match tonight on Raw. And it's going to be Brock Lesnar, Obafemi Part 2 at Clash in Italy. And I still think Oba's going to win. He's going to pull out a victory, especially if their plans is for him to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. And that's what I think. I don't understand. If he gets beat by Brock, then maybe they'll run it back at SummerSlam, the rubber match. But like I said, unless they're not doing Oba being in a title match at SummerSlam and just doing another Brock Lesnar match, which is fine because it's only going to help Oba in the long run if he finishes and wins this feud. But until then, we've seen it before. That is exactly why that match was so short, because they knew. I don't care what anyone says, they knew this was the plan. Or semi-plans, or this is discussed, because there's no way they're gonna. No, they gave them all the time. No. You trying to be clever, but you ain't that clever. So Friday Night SmackDown was a show. It happened. 3 hours. It happened. Sami Zayn is trying to get in Cody Rhodes' head like Killer Cross tried to do before he got booted from the company, and he's like, I'm one of the few that beat Gunther, so you're going to need my help. I know you've never needed my help before, but you need my help because without me, you're going to lose to Gunther. But, sure. So Cody's like, nah, bro, how about me, you, tonight? Let's go. And it was good. It was a match. I mean, it was a match. It was okay. It was Cody Rhodes. It was a Cody Rhodes match. It was a Sami Zayn match. Like, what do you expect? And lo and behold, WWE 101, the challenger, Gunther, appeared and tried to interfere and, choked him out a little bit, beat him up a little bit behind the ref's back so Sami can try to, steal a victory. But nope. Cody Rhodes, crossroad, boom, 1, 2, 3. But Gunther's like, I'm still here, brother. Choked him out. And Sami's like, I told you. You need me. And so he just walked away. So WWE 101, Sami Zayn's going to play into the finish one way or another at the main event, or probably not the main event, at the co-main event at Clash. And I don't think Gunther's going to win, but I don't know if I really want to see Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn at Night of Champions. But I don't know what you do if Cody loses the title. You just have the match be a non-title between Sami and Cody because he's so angry, like he, with the Jacob Fatu situation. But then what? What do you do with Gunther? Who challenges him? I guess I'm just confused. Or you don't have a triple threat at Night of Champions because Gunther didn't actually lose. But that's just a whole bunch of just ugh. Like they know, it's like they don't know what they want to do, or they throwing a whole bunch of things out there and see what works, and then that's what they're gonna go out with. But no, that's not what I want. I want some concrete. You got a writer's room for a reason. You sit down, you discuss it, you plan it out, and you go towards it. I know injuries and stuff like that happens, but that's not what it is right here. And by the way, where is he at? Okay, where is Randy freaking Orton at? Okay, I'm just waiting for him to show up out of nowhere and RKO the crap out of Cody Rhodes. I know he posted on X that he's on vacation, spending time with his wife and kids and all that good stuff. But he needs to be back. Give him all the money in the world. Tell him to come back early. United Champions, sure. At Clash, boom, boom, drop him. Because RKO, you need to 15, bro. We need you to hit the 15 ASAP, like this year. By the end, December 31st, if Randy Orton hasn't won his 15th world title, it's a travesty, and Randy Orton is getting bullied by the company, by TKO. I said it, by TKO. And then by going through this, before I get to the women's world title match, that was, I'll get to that. Let's talk about Blake Monroe. You know. She my girl, right? But like they're already making her a meme. They're making Blake Monroe a meme, an NPC interacting with Chelsea Green, which is fine, but she shouldn't be an NPC. She should be on Charlotte's level, on Rhea's level, hell, on Jade Cargill's level. Not in the back, playing house or whatever that heck they're doing. This is, get it together. Like, you don't waste her at all. Like, she should not be Billy Ballin no, she should come out and make an impact like Jason Jane, like an impact. Like, I'm not saying she should go right to the big title picture, but you got secondary titles for a reason, and that's perfect spot for her, just like you did with Trick Williams. Do what you do with the dudes and do it with the women. I don't see why not. I don't see why you wasting your time. You've been wasting with vignettes week after week, and then this is how you debut her on SmackDown? You should have just left her in NXT if that's what you're going to do. Be better. I better see her in a better situation on this coming Friday on SmackDown, because that is just silly. But let's talk about the Rhea challenges. Yeah, the champion challenges her opponent who she already beat at WrestleMania. So, dopey champion, oh yeah, I want you because, blah, blah, blah. Guess we reward losers. Freebies for losers, folks. Freebies for losers. Sure, whatever. Rhea's going to win at Clash. Move on. At this point, might as well give Blake Monroe a title shot, since she just handing them out like candy on Halloween. I don't know why you would do anything differently than that. If that's what you showing, you're putting on television. Not cool. And so let's go to another waste of my time. Saturday night's main event. I know. Before anyone says in the comments, just a glorified house. I know. You know there hasn't been a title change since November 2025 when Punk won the vacated World Heavyweight Championship and Jade Cargill beat Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Heavyweight Championship. I know. I did the research. I seen the shows. I'm a fan. I know. But you had 4 title matches. Not one changed hands. I know Becky wasn't a title match, but they said it was, and then all of a sudden they said it wasn't. Make up your mind. Becky wins by DQ. So Sola Ruka won, and she probably going to get a title shot sooner or later because, she won, technically. Penta and Paige, fantastic match with 2 fantastic wrestlers. But why didn't you pull the trigger and give it to Ethan Page? Because now what you're going to do, I know he's probably going to get a title shot. He's probably going to complain saying, look, Penta cheated. Even though it was his fault, he won that pull. he pulled the little guard off the turnbuckle and exposed steel, but he ate it instead, and the Mexican driver, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, but he's going to do that and probably get another title shot, probably at Night of Champions is my guess. Maybe add a few other people, maybe a fatal four-way. Ethan Page ekes out a victory like the slimy heel that he is. But they didn't do it here, so whatever. And then the women's tag match, Paige and Brie win. Whatever. Next. I mean, you're gonna start running out of tag teams for them to challenge. I know you're trying to give them reps because they've been gone from day-to-day combat or day-to-day wrestling for a while, especially in WWE style. But someone has to beat y'all. Somebody. And then the men's tag, division wins. I think the Street Profits needed this victory. Because now what do you do with them? They said they came back together as a unit to win tag team championships. And they lost. I know they had the numbers game and they lost. I mean, does that mean the Street Profits are going to go to Seth and be like, hey, you right, we need to be a unit so you can keep Braun Breaker away from my title matches, and then we can win the title. Because if it wasn't for Braun Breaker, the Street Profits would have won the title. So, again, I'm assuming this match is going to be a rematch at Night of Champions. So, again, this is a wasted show. That these are all preview matches. This is all demos, and the full game comes out at Night of Champions in Saudi because they need matches for that. Because I don't think they're going to add these title matches, any of these title matches, to Clash, in my opinion. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so. I think they have other plans, and they're going to have 4 or 5 matches. And if you think about it, you got the Roman match, you got the Cody match, you got the Oba Femi match, you got the Jade Rhea match. So, clearly only one more match that they're going to do. Because, but they might only have 4 matches. You never know. It's on a Sunday because it is out in Italy, so they put it on a Sunday. But I don't see why there wouldn't be, these are building up to the next PLE. There's not enough time to add all these matches, and they're not going to have 7, 8 matches on Clash. So they're going to move most of those matches to the next PLE in Saudi, so Saudi can have the best show because Saudi giving them buckloads of money, billions and billions of dollars. So that's what TKO sees. They see money, so they say, let's stack this show. I mean, just mark my words, that WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia is going to be stacked with vets, with legends, with old timers, whatever you want to call them, and then they're going to have all the good people that you think should be on there going to be on like big multi-men matches. They're going to have so many people at this Mania because they're going to have to please the Saudi people. And that's just stupid. That just takes away from your product because again, back in the day when you're only trying to please one man, look how that went. Terrible booking, terrible choices, terrible wasted of talents because that one guy, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, just didn't care. Or didn't want to care, or didn't want to know who these people were. He just knew what he wanted, and if that wasn't what he seen, that's what he didn't want it on his TV. And if that one guy he didn't care what me or you or millions of other people wanted. It's what he wanted, and that's what they treat the Saudi higher ups. That whatever they want is what WWE is going to give. If they could bring back Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, all the legends that passed away, they would, and they would be main eventing WrestleMania. You think I'm lying? Look it up. Look it up. They were asking for dead people, and Vince had to be like, bruh, I would love to do that match, but unfortunately, he passed away. Oh, for real? So, like I said, don't be shocked if WrestleMania is filled with legends and old-timers and part-timers. Don't be shocked. If you're going into next year's WrestleMania, I think it's going to be all your favorites, all the newbies, all the youngins, you're going to be very, very disappointed. Because if the Saudi people have what they want, it's going to be Legends. It's going to be WrestleMania, the Legends edition. And if you don't believe me, just wait and see. And then remember that your boy Bishop let you know that that's what happened. And I'm not lying. I'm just telling you how I see it. Because I don't sugarcoat nothing. So let's get into the NBA playoffs. So I'm going to start with the Spurs and Thunder. There's a lot of people saying that the Thunder are winning because they're getting the calls, they're getting the fouls, they're getting to the free throw lines. But with my research and my brain, the Spurs right now in 4 games have a plus 25 free throw attempts difference between the Thunder and them. The largest in 4 games of any playoff series. Like, the last one was 22, and I think that was with the Celtics. So, I think it was the Celtics Raptors. Okay? So, clearly the Spurs are getting to the free throw line because, you know, they do have the 730 feet tall giant of a man with the wingspan of the world. Like, his wingspan doesn't say a number, it says Earth. Okay? Victor Wembanyama is a machine, a unicorn, one in a lifetime, generational type of talent. And he's super young, and he can shoot a 3 from range. When he comes to the paint, the only thing you do is try to rip down the tree. You can't contest his shots. He's just too dang tall. And I've seen it. If you haven't, just check out the highlights. Every single time the Thunder think about going to the paint, and they see Victor in the paint with his hands up high, looking like the waving men outside of a used car lot, inflatable tube man. And they're like, they do U-turns, man. I've never seen a guard drive and be like, not today, not today. Because they know this dude averages 4.6 blocks a game. Like, don't even try, bro. There was one dude that tried in this playoffs. His name is Anthony Edwards. And what is he doing right now? Sitting at home watching the finals or watching the conference finals. Okay? I'm just saying. Shy ain't dumb. Okay? He ain't stupid. Like literally they put on the brakes and beep, beep. They back up. They like, nope, not today. When he's not on the court, they driving left and right. That's where they get the free throw attempts. When Wemby is resting. But Wemby comes out there, it's over. You know, I thought the series was going to be over, but it's tied 2-2. It's definitely going to go 7 games. I thought it was going to go 5, but clearly it's not. It's going to go 7. The Western Conference Finals going 7. Speaking of conference finals, the East ain't going 7. I think tonight the Knicks are going to take out the Cavs and just be resting until the Western Conference done beating each other up. I mean, the Knicks are on the cusp of sweeping the Cavs. Haven't lost a game since May 1st. Which, ironically, April 28th is when Danhausen of the WWE got a cameo request to remove the curse of the Knicks. Before that, they were taken to the limit by the Trae Young-less Atlanta Hawks, and they ain't lost since. 10 games in a row is unheard of in the playoffs. The last time it happened was 2024 Boston Celtics, and guess what they did in the 2024 playoffs? Yes, they won the championship. So all the numbers are in the Knicks' favor. The New York Knicks could be your NBA champions of 2026. Those Knicks. Spike Lee's Knicks. Stephen A. Smith's Knicks. Yes. But will they do it? Possibly. But I think they're going to have trouble. If the Spurs take out the Thunder, Victor Wembanyama is not something to be taken lightly. Who's guarding Victor? Cat? No offense to Cat, but I've not seen him man up against any big man, especially someone of Victor's talent pool. He's just too damn tall. He's too damn big. He has all the talents in the world, all the skills in the world, and he knows how to use them. It's only his second year, and he's doing this in the playoffs, not just a regular season game. So Victor will hurt the Knicks. That's why they need to sweep, so they can rest and be 1,000% when they go to San Antonio or OKC. And then with the Thunder, they're going to kill those guards of the New York Knicks with defense. And shot creation, getting to the line, making his own shot, closing out games. I mean, granted, he didn't do it in Game 4. But again, it's the Victor effect. True that. It's the Victor effect. But I don't think, Shai and the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder, the two-time MVP, back-to-back MVP winner, going to New York, they're going to give them all that they want. And I don't know if they'll have enough ammunition in the chamber to take out the Thunder either. But based on how they've been playing, they just can't lose. I mean, that's sweep after sweep. Numbers don't lie. So it's going to be interesting finals, especially if the Knicks take care of business tonight and pack up the Cavs for the sweeping. But my pick is still Spurs, Knicks, NBA Finals. And I still think Spurs in 5. I think San Antonio Spurs' year is this year. And Victor Wembanyama is going to show that he is not a bust, but he is the truth. He is going to show that he should have won the MVP this year, that he will win the MVP in the future. No doubt in my mind. As early as next season. Victor's here to stay, especially if he can stay healthy. Especially. There's nothing but up for him. And if you don't believe me, check the highlights, man. Check the numbers. Like, Victor is he's just too good. He does things that, obviously he can do those because he's so tall, so he's going to get all the boards, but he scores points. He has handles like a point guard, like a 6 foot under point guard. He can shoot the 3. He can block shots. Defensive Player of the Year, hello. So I don't know what more you are shocked by. That the future of the NBA is Victor, and he's going to be the face of the league for years to come. So tune in tonight and let's see if the Knicks can handle business. Or, I mean, I'm not saying I believe in curses and all this good stuff, but Danhausen said no more curse for you, but I curse you, Cleveland, and they're about to get swept, brother. Couldn't happen to a better team. I mean, they took out my team, the Detroit Pistons, so yeah, I'm kind of salty about it. But the Knicks, man, they just win. All they do is win, like T-Pain said. So, but that's my show for the week, episode 30. Check back later this week for a bonus episode with a possible interview. Crossing my fingers, a possible interview, and my predictions for Clash in Italy, as well as any NBA news. Maybe the Knicks are finals bound. Maybe the Cavs pull out that victory and they go into Game 5. And tonight's Raw recap. So look for that around Wednesday or Thursday, because this is your host, Bishop, and that's the breakdown. So like a great man once said, deuces. Ooses. I'm out. Deuces.